This is Bolero number 1 by, oh my goodness, Raffaele, Calace. Very fun piece. You're going to really enjoy it. Uh, the first part is in first position. The melody part lives around fifth position on the Cantabile, and we're talking about measure 30. So let's just actually start with the Cantabile. So it's just on fifth position, right? Don't let the B flat throw you off, right? Right? Second string. Right? You have an A major. Remember, that's still C sharp, right? And then back to the melody. So just towards the end, a little bit more of jumpiness in the action. So you could do something like this. Slide 1. I'll make a notation on your score. And then you slide 3 over. Right? And then... But then there's the problem with D. You could do that. A very idiosyncratic little fingering problem, right? I don't think that there is any way to avoid it. Once you get to measure 36, you're doing 3 and 4 here, and then you just jump to fifth position. Right? The A on the D string, F natural here on the B string, 3 and 2, then 1 and 2, they're half stack, and then bring it over to third position. Now let's just talk a little bit about the estribillo, the first part. You have the chord. This is stuff that you can, for the most part, read by yourself. That I don't think that you need a lot of help, but it's really important to try to stay in the same position. So you're tempted to do that, but then the jumping around does not really help much. Although 2 and 4 are not as strong as 1 and 3, better to stay in one position. So starting right there, measure 10 going over to 11, so pick up to 11. 1 and 2 and 3. That's an E7 chord, 2, 1, and then the D. You could even strum it if you want. Right, notice that the last chord is slightly different, right? It caught me by surprise. You have a D instead of an E, and you take off your D up here, and you just play, it's just a one-finger chord. And then this is interesting, right? You do have to change position. I suggest that you actually just get over to fifth position here when you play the D, the last note of measure 27. That way you can just do that. You could even get to third position. Right? Very, very easy. Because of the open string. And then you're again doing the cantabile that we talked about earlier. Or you could do that. right? And then you're going to repeat this part that says tempo primo. I would highlight this in the score. So this is starting on 42. Yeah, I would just switch over in 44 to third position. So the first time you play the F, you're in first position. Right there, you just switch right over to third position. Right, that way you kind of are used to doing that on the quick shift, which is kind of accentuated. And this is interesting, right? Because of how he wrote this, you have to move back to get the B flat, but you're right back on the second string. Otherwise, if you keep on moving back with the A, then you have a G sharp, which is right behind it, right? So it behooves you to get over to the second string as quick as possible. So starting on the last measure of the first system on the second page, measure 46. So you got your fifth position, right? You're gonna have to move from the G over here on the 8th fret to the 6th fret, to the F natural. Right, and the F is right here on the 8th fret of the 5th string. That way you don't have a lot of shifting around. Then if you want to get over to first position to end this, you can, or just stay in 5th position, because you are going to eventually end up on that high D on the 10th fret, right? So let's take a look. I'll just start on 42 and remember, the first time you go back, and that takes you to the tempo primo in 108. Right, but in essence you have a D. Right, because the D is right here on the 3rd string. Right? A little uncomfortable, but definitely possible. Okay? Then the Codabile again, which is kind of a variation of what you had before. Right, this time you have a C natural on 58. Then it's a good idea to just switch over. Even though you're going to find yourself back up on the 7th fret, maybe there is good to use 1 and 3, and I'm talking about 61, right? Right? So starting on 58, I know it says it's a B, and it's tempting to play it open. I think it's a good idea to play it on the 3rd string, because you're playing the descant melodies on the 3rd string, right? When you get to 63, you do use that beat to get yourself over here, right? Right? I'm not going to talk about that one because we just did. Tempting to play them, play the B's open. You could. Yeah, and then you go back to tempo primo.